My hand hurt. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D here in the house. We're talking Lilly and Jack Sullivan. And it's all about really looking at what we do know and don't know. And I think we need to get really real here because these are real children that are missing. And it's broken a lot of people's hearts, even though we don't personally know the children. A lot of us are parents or have a lot of children in our lives, and so it's very hurtful to be this far out. We're literally at the 3-month mark, and from our understanding, the RCMP is not any further. That being said, welcome everybody. Know that this is alive. I'm going to kick my shoes off. And I've got my favorite blanket. And we're going to be talking about this very important thing. There's quite a few of them, actually, that bring information to us that hasn't been said. And so we have to... Oh, thank you, Shandeep. I appreciate you. Let's get chat up on the board. Thank you, lovely. Debbie Gazzardo. I think I like the shirt. I don't look any different. It just must be the shirt. It's a little low cut, so I keep pulling it up. That's why I don't wear it too often. You kicked yourself out, Jennyville. Looking great. Thank you, Bib. Hey, Prime Candy, Julie, Stefan, Zoe, like I said, live audience. Thank you, my live, beautiful audience. And thank you, my fantastic replay crew. You guys matter so incredibly much in fighting for Lilly and Jack. And so thank you for that. But it really is, thank you, Jennyville. It really is about this concept that there's information that they left out. Now, we've all heard the discussion on the timeline, right? Like every creator and every follower and supporter of the Jack and Lilly case have all been trying to hash out this timeline. You know, you keep hearing it. Okay, Janie did this at 8:48, and then Malehya did this and this. But really, it's very, very vague. And there's missing pieces, there's missing parts to the whole thing. We're supposed to buy this narrative that these children were just absolutely walking out the door. However, this is where I'm going to get my legs crossed in my chair here. Here's where it gets a reality check. Okay, now you're going to have to clear your mind in order to really see the truth. And this is factual. So when people say things like where the truth lies, the truth doesn't lie ever. The truth remains the truth. So the truth, we're not going to have to wait till the end to see where the truth lies. That doesn't make sense. In that, when you have a story that... how do I want to put it? When the truth, let's put the truth into a shape. Let's put the truth in this box. Anything inside this box. Let's see, what do I have for a box? I actually do have a box in the other room. I don't have a box right here. But I want you to imagine, because it's really important to get the visual of the box. Square box. That is the shape of truth, right? It's got boundaries. And when you go outside of the boundaries, it no longer is part of the truth. And I know you're like, why are you breaking this down like we're first graders? There's a point. So if the truth is square and it fits within this boundary of what the reality actually was, and then someone comes along and they speak and it isn't fitting in that box, it's outside the boundaries, you then have more of a kind of like a circle, right? Because they go around in circles with their lies. So why are we pounding this circle into a square box? It's not going to work. That's why you're not seeing me on here consistently breaking down the timeline. Because once you have a liar, so you have someone that goes outside the square box of truth, they're out of bounds. They no longer can be put in the truth box. So therefore, if they then give a timeline, why would it be the truth? And you even have people go, well, that doesn't fit with this, and this doesn't fit with this. We'll talk for 10 hours, and we're going to hash it over about how it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, it doesn't work, you're lying, you're not telling the truth, you're being deceptive, whatever. The fact is that the round bullshit narrative doesn't fit because it is absolutely not the truth. And when you have Janie talking and her story doesn't match or align with the story that Daniel and Malehya are giving, then it's not the truth. Okay? When you have Daniel talking and it's not aligning with the other two, Jamie or Malehya, it's not the truth. When you have Malehya talking and it's not aligning, it's not the truth. So why the hell would you buy that these children went missing in the morning? Why? Because you're thinking that, oh, wait a minute, the slider door was shut and the kids never shut the door. Why would that detail have been given? Think about it. Why do you feel that that detail would have been given? It's important. Why do you think there was a one single boot print over there on the raked gravel that got all muddy? Could it be that these are little tiny inserted fabrications to make you believe there's proof of life on that property in the morning? There's a big problem with what's not said with these people, and that is they only one of them out of all of them claim to have heard Jack, but not one of them saw Jack at all on the day he was reported missing. Not Janie. In fact, Janie goes on into detail how normally every single day, all day long, all she hears is, and I'm going to say it in her way, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, Jackie, come on. But not that day. That did not get heard. That did not get said. These children that do this every day, all day long, and that's the only thing Janie hears all damn day, didn't happen. You do not hear Daniel ever say he saw Lilly, outside of the fact that she peeked her head into that room a couple times, but not once do you hear Daniel say he saw Jack. Janie doesn't say she saw Jack. Aw, thank you so much, Ashlyn, for the $4. Thank you, lovely. That is so kind of you. Lady Nick, thank you, my love, for the $1.99 snooper chat. Thank you both kindly. And so you have to begin to actually think to yourself, wait a minute. The whole point to the slider could possibly be that Daniel provided that the slider was closed because it never got opened until they opened it, rather than the children opened it and then closed it, because they never closed the slider, right? So Jamie always hears the kids every morning, Jackie, come on, Jackie, but not that day. Her dogs are set off by the kids, but not really that day. Daniel says he saw Lilly pop her head into the room, but he never speaks about Jack. The only thing Malehya said is that she heard the kids in the kitchen. So, here's the thing. The RCMP have told us that the last proof of life is these children in town. We are, as a group, suspicious that these children may have been called into school because of damage to their face or bruising and so forth, regardless of how it got there, right? But when we really look at the boot print that the dogs hit on in the driveway, I've begun to really understand, if you will, that the only reason that Janie was flattening out the driveway and so forth is to make it conspicuous so that they could possibly plant a boot print for proof of life. So that way it obscures the actual timeline completely. Because if the real timeline, which fits in the boundaries of truth, were being given at all, it'd be like clockwork, right? Wouldn't matter who you talked to or what anybody said. It would be this time the kids got fed. This time they were taken outside. This is when this happened, and this is when this happened. Not this rigmarole about who was in bed. You know, at one point we've got both people in bed. Malehya, the mother, and Daniel, the stepdad, are both in bed together. And Malehya says to her partner, "Do you hear the children?" They both get up. Then you have Daniel say, no, hold on. It was actually, I got woke up when Malehya was coming back to bed, and we still have a time. We got Janie saying, I heard the kids. I swear I heard the kids, but I didn't get up. Malehya saying that normally, and Janie too, that when the kids come outside, Janie calls Malehya. The kids are outside. Jack ain't got his boots on. Lilly ain't got a coat on, right? This is the kind of communication that they say they normally have on a regular basis. Anytime the kids go outside, Janie calls Malehya and says the kids are outside. But that doesn't happen that day. Janie says it didn't happen, and Malehya said it didn't happen. So this is the one time that the kids closed the slider. I don't buy it. I don't think that slider was used by the children whatsoever, because I do not believe that both children were in that home in the morning. At the bare minimum, that's the way I feel, is that neither child was there. At the maximum, on the other side of the coin, is it possible that just Lilly was in the home and that they hadn't figured this out? Had something happened to little Jack between the time that they left that camera over by the mall at around, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Had something occurred before that morning? 6 o'clock in the morning, they're already calling the kids in for school, saying they ain't coming. And it's buying them time, to be honest. Now, if this evidence that was found, the pink blanket, the water bottle, is truly planted, was it to do, with this whole idea that we're going to build the concept that the kids were here at the trailer? We'll put a boot print. We'll say that that slider was shut so that we know that the kids actually were here, went out and shut the slider. Then would they continue out to plant other evidence to suggest these children were here? Janie goes on to talk about property she has between her ex-husband and her brother. Did that property get searched? So you feel me. My biggest point is that it never happened. There's a lot of things that never happened. The kids have never shut that door on their own. Every day she hears Janie, Jackie, come on, Jackie, come on. Come on, Jackie. Never happened that day. We hear Malehya say that Janie keeps an eye on the kids and then calls her. She brings them in and she feeds them breakfast. Never happened that day. So why is this day different before the kids go missing? Why is it altered prior to the report of the kids go missing? So what are you thinking? If these kids went missing before they were brought home that night, then it starts clicking into place why there's so many it didn't happen moments. We didn't hear about food getting served before they went to bed. We didn't hear about care. So what? Even if all these children are ever treated like is, here's a bag of Cheetos and a Coca-Cola, that's your supper, we don't even hear about that at all. How could they not know what they're wearing? Because children do not pick up after themselves. I have yet to meet a child that when they change their clothes, don't leave the clothes right where they were. Never met a 5-year-old that'll strip down and then go looking around for a laundry basket to put the clothes in. And they certainly aren't going to bury the clothes. So here's the deal. Whatever you put them kids to bed in is what they're wearing. But you couldn't even figure that out. When Daniel gave the statement that Lilly was wearing a pink Barbie shirt, come to find out, no, that's not even true. Because that pink Barbie shirt was back at the trailer. And Daniel still has it today. So this whole never happened. Never hearing the children respond like they normally do. Jackie, come on. Jackie, come on. Never at all calling Malehya. Never happened. Happens all the other times, but not that day. The children not leaving the slider open. Didn't happen this day. So all that didn't happens are really clearly painting a picture. And here's where we're back to square one. The truth, which has boundaries. And all I can see is them circling around it, right? And leaving out all the important parts of the real truth. And so that's why it's not going to make sense. And you can take all their timelines and you can lay them down and they are not going to work. No shade to those working on that timeline. I'm just saying for me personally, I'm not going to waste my damn time. And the reason is because they're lying. And if the real truth, square box, was staring them in the face, right? And they were going by that, those timelines would have made sense. But why should I spend from now to eternity trying to solve a mathematical problem where you're adding a mailbox to your cereal and going, what's the answer? What's the answer? It's a nonsensical mathematical equation because it's all fictitious and is not going to add up. What will add up is the truth. And the truth is that if anybody out of those kids was on that property where they heard in the kitchen or Janie heard outside, it would be Lilly, not Jack. Because not one of them admit to even knowing that Jack existed that morning. Because I don't believe it ever happened. Jack was not there in the morning. And that's why you don't hear Lilly say, Jack, come on, Jack, come on, Jackie, come on. In my humble opinion. What are your guys' thoughts? Yeah, Daniel's always in that chat, Marie. Always. But what does it matter? He's not going to give us a breadcrumb of truth. None of them are going to give us the truth. Because I promise you, they all know much more than they're telling us. And they're not going to tell us the truth. Exactly, Prime Candy. A 4-year-old has wash basket in her room, clothes still on the floor. I think it's her blind spot. That's why I'm saying, how can they not know what the children are wearing? The clothes that they would have taken off would hit the floor, right? And then there'd be X amount of clothes gone. So you'd be like, where's this shirt? But it's not done. They don't know what the kids are wearing because they don't want to give you that information. My guess is whatever they had on camera at that area by the mall is exactly what they were wearing when they went missing. Now, it's interesting. Wade, who is the stepfather of Malehya, the mother of the children, made the claim on that video that he, the recording of his voice, that one of the kids' coats and Lily's shirt was laying on the vehicle. And I think, don't quote me, do your own research, but I thought he said Daniel's vehicle. So it's almost as if they didn't even take the kid's coat in the house. They just left it lay on the vehicle. That's weird. Prime Candy says, I honestly don't know how any of them can sleep at night. The guilt should consume them. Rachel, my 4-year-old grandbaby must be the abnormality. I put his clothes straight into the washer. That's you as an adult, right, Rach? But does he do it? Right? So, I'm just saying. Lady Nick, I'm a member on the other channels with you lovely bunch, but please help. I can't work this out. Sorry. Oh, sorry, sweetheart. Did you need the join button? Let me see what I can do for you. Yeah, I was going to do a members live this week where we give the audience to, and so that's why I did it this way today. But I think you're already, oh, maybe I thought I did members live, but maybe not. We will do it next week. But we always share with everybody. Like, you can still watch it even if you're just a subscriber. Yeah, I can't. Let me see. Hold on. There's a way to get that for you. Here it is. I got it. I got it. There's the members click if you want to become that. Cat Tuffy, hello lovely. You said I have 3 young children and I'm up at 4, maybe 5 every morning. Nappies, change breakfast, done all by 6:30, and have 3 special needs and cameras all over. No way I would let them up by themselves. Right. Oh, gotcha. Well, there's your link, Lady Nick. I hope that helps. He puts his clothes in the washer, typo. Oh, yeah, that's not normal, Rach. That's not normal. And he's visiting your house. Kids always do different than when they're at their house. I mean, when my kids go to Grandma and Grandpa, they put their shoes by the door. They hang their coat up nice, and they're all on their best behavior. When they come home, their stuff gets thrown on the floor. So, hello, BC. You say, I'd help, but all my cash goes towards my 20-year-old open case and the unalive my husband. Oh, you don't need to help, hon. Nobody's asking you to put any money towards anything at all. Okay? It's all free for you. Let's see what else you guys are saying. My daughter is trying to get her 2-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son to put the toys away. Bless them. They do try. Yeah, that's hard to get them to do when they're little. Allie Shay, totally cat, 2 ADHD boys. There's no way I would let them up without me being with them. Right? Viv says, I didn't realize to smeagol fishes makes it even more weird that I've been having dreams about a lake near where I live with fishing and waterfalls. Yes. Aw, thank you, BC. But your dollar coming to me isn't going to bring these kids justice, sweetheart. There's no money that we can pay that is going to bring justice for these kids. So if you don't have it to give don't give it. The reason some people do a snooper chat is to just support our channel and the work that we do on all the cases, to be able to come together and talk about it. Now, yes, we have helped with other cases. Harmony Montgomery, we were a key factor in that case. Sandra Birchmore, we were a key factor in that case. Gabby Petito, we played a huge role. But then there's other cases we've worked that we haven't been able to resolve. Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers. I have theories. I believe Summer Wells fell off the roof of her house. That's what I really believe. Right, Cat Tough, you have to have eyes on them. 24/7 neglected babies. Totally agree with that. Hey, Joe Ob. Hi, Julie. How are you all doing today? David Matheson, welcome back, lovely. Yes, yes. Hey, Tina girl, welcome back. It's so true that there is so much missing that never happened on this day that has no direct reason. Like, this is the reason it didn't happen today. What is he carrying? I think my son just decided to go to work and just realized he is off today. Have you ever done that? Start to go to work and be halfway out the door when you realize you're not late, you don't have to work? Yeah, the entire thing where we have this narrative, if we really think about it. So let's go with the RCMP. They see these kids on camera, and there's a witness that they're in the vehicle with Malehya, with Daniel, and the baby. So that's where they are. And then the rest of it, through that whole rest of the day, the only little pieces we get is that Daniel, who makes the claim that he is the only one with these kids all the time and does everything for them, and then Malehya, the mother, does absolutely nothing. She just focuses on the baby. He doesn't make any attempts to explain his interaction with Lilly and Jack at all. He said they were playing out there somewhere. I don't think so. I just don't. While he was setting fence. These people cleaned that property spick and span after the children went missing. But before they went missing, we have a nasty mattress in the yard that's just disgusting. It's a Summer Wells moment. If you know what I mean, you know. And if you don't, dig into Summer Wells and you'll have a new understanding of this case, in my opinion. We have broken appliances littering that yard that are extremely dangerous. CPS has been out to that home allegedly in December or February or whatever, already telling them that they have to get this place ready. They've taken no action, but these kids go missing, and these are honey working bees. They get on that driveway, they start setting fence, right? Aw, Jennifer Swain. Thank you, Jenny, for the $4.99 snooper chat. Thank you, my love. Rhonda McDermott. Thank you, lovely. Oh, all you guys' decks. 15 decks went out just 3 days ago, I think it was. Some of you should be getting your decks. 15 decks of the True Crime deck have went out, and I'm currently processing the next batch, getting ready. They will be shipping out Monday. And I got a big news. If you wanted to do it for free shipping, do it now. Because I'll just say we have an 1111er that is willing and able and giving the gift to provide free shipping for all of you. This person, this individual that has chosen to remain anonymous, but you can probably guess who it is going to pay your shipping for another week in August. So get your orders in so that you get that free shipping while it's free. I did run a little ad today. It's going really well too. Tina Girl says it looked just like Summer Wells' junkyard. I feel bad for those children that had to live in that situation. Me too. Me too. I am so excited for you, Rhonda. You ordered 4 Wow, I didn't even know what to think about that. Scratch That Paint says their place was a train wreck before. Yes. Prime Candy, 8 months. Thank you. Thank you for being a starlight for 8 months. That is beautiful. See, I told you everybody could guess. She wants to remain anonymous. She or he, there we go. She or he wants to remain anonymous for who's paying for the shipping. Rage, don't put your bills after this. Only buy the decks if you can afford it, right? But yeah, if you do want a deck, this is the week to get it. And I do have the link and a little thing on the community tab. So, oh, not on this channel. I'll have to make a little link to put over here too. So, this whole timeline, does it matter if Daniel talks? Because all he does is lie. All he does is lie. Do we need to hear from him? I don't think so. I haven't learned a damn thing from Daniel since the day he opened his mouth. After I figured out that he lied, everything after he said from there on just has no value. Janie, did we catch her in a lie? I have. I've caught her. I've caught her in a lie where she says one thing and then later she says another, right? She said she's seen the kids when she was on the private chats, but she never said she's seen the kids at all when she gave her interview. She only heard them. Which one is it? Did you see both kids? No. No. Nobody saw Jack. It didn't happen. It never happened. Daniel never saw Jack that day on May 2nd. Malehya never saw Jack on May 2nd. Janie never saw Jack on May 2nd. So this child went missing and nobody laid eyes on him at all day, except for Lilly. Yet, Lilly had been seen by Daniel, and yet Lilly goes outside, and it's the one day that it never happens. It never happens. She never says, Jackie, come on, Jackie, Jackie, come on, come on. Nope. Doesn't happen. And that's the biggest red flag right there, is when the children's behavior is different. When the adults are saying the day was different. It wasn't a normal day. The normalcy of the day would have been that if the children went outside, we have both Malehya and Janie both confirming that when the children go outside, Janie calls Malehya. Never happened that day, but Janie heard the children, but she didn't call that day. The children never shut the slider. Never, ever. But that day, the slider was already closed. I think it's because the children didn't open the slider. Now, some of you are going to ask, well, is it possible that something happened to Jack and then what Durwood actually said is possibly half true? Well, remember what they said. Remember how, who was it? Haley said, well, he didn't tell the whole truth. Was he half right? Did something happen to Jack and then they took Lilly and kept her away from everybody so she could never be questioned about what happened to her brother Jack? Was she put into some far off place? Was she spared? Because if an accident happened, maybe not an accident, maybe it was some violent form. Somebody hit the kid and the kid passed away. It happens. Would they have the heart to intentionally take the other kid out? I just can't buy that. I just can't. And so it leaves me with, okay, so if they wanted to obscure the truth, Lilly is young enough that they could reprogram her brain in a matter of time where she forgot all about having a little brother if they got her retrained. And it would take time. But would it be worth it to keep her out of the sight of everybody? I mean, you hear of how children just are found later held. And I don't want to get into the details of what I'm saying here too much. But Jackie, I don't see him on that property at all. But yet, if Lilly was there in the morning, it would be why Lilly was popping her head in the morning. It would make sense why somebody would have closed the slider, because they'd be with Lilly. It would make sense why Janie never heard, "Come on, Jackie, come on," right? And could they have purposely used Jack's boot to make a footprint on that property as proof of life to obscure the real timeline as to when Jackie went missing? I think we're getting closer, but one thing I can damn sure tell you is their timeline, I don't care what kind of spreadsheet you got, is never going to align, because it contradicts each other. Janie contradicts Daniel, Daniel contradicts Malehya, Malehya contradicts them both, and that's the truth. And so there is no timeline that fits into the square box of truth. And I personally am not going to pound that round peg any further, because it just ain't fitting. It's a dead end, and it's a waste of time. And so we're left with what we need to think about is if they got home, all right, they're headed home, and let's say something may happen to Jack. What actions do you feel they would take if something happened? You know, they didn't plan on losing Jack, but there was some altercation, some event that Jack met his demise. But Lily's fine. We really need to think about that, because often people get locked into trying to solve a mystery by basing their theories, their beliefs on bullshit, trying to make sense out of something that ain't gonna make sense. And if somebody's a liar and they are the ones that ate the cookies, even though they're saying they don't even like cookies, then they are no longer in the realm of the truth box. And you know, they will have to now lie to cover up a lie to cover up a lie, and they're going to fabricate everything else. And so why beat our head against the wall and try to make what they say important or what they say makes sense? It's a waste of time. Short note, Carrie, I agree. Those parents need to be hauled in and interrogated until the truth comes out, in my opinion, with you. Mariska says, Tina, I have been praying for Jack and Lilly, and now I will include the babies that have been affected, including your babies. I am so sad. Oh, I don't know about that. So sorry that somebody has issues with children. I pray for all children. Me too, Julie. I believe something happened the evening before. I do know a local passed, and they've told this to RCMP, they passed the house at the trailer, the property, at 10 o'clock p.m. and there was not a light on. It was pitch black. Not one thing on that property lit up to say anybody was home. And they didn't say if they saw cars in the driveway or not. And I lost contact with that person, wasn't able to re-ask. What's going on? I'm sorry if I missed something. I'm sorry. Christina Swab, thank you, my beautiful, for the $13.99 snooper chat. That is so kind of you. Thank you, lovely. Ocean Deep, you are amazing too, sweetheart. Ocean Deep, I love you. $1.99 snooper chat. Thank you, sweetheart. Donna Crostier, or Crosseteer, Crosette. Oh, lovely. I'm going to call you Donna. You have a difficult name, but it sounds beautiful. I do not believe the kids were there in the morning either. No. Because it never happened, right? The kids never shut the slider, but that day it was done. Janie always hears, come on, Jackie, come on, come on. But it never happened. So the timelines all adjusted as if, poof, there was no Jackie. Poof, nobody saw Jackie. Not Malehya, not Daniel, not Janie, not one of them. Not one saw that. Cat Tuffy says, in my opinion, if something happened to one or both babies, they'd all be lying as well as be accountable. I agree, too. Oh, Ocean Deep, we love you. I love you all so much. And thank you, my Starlights, for coming in. I thought it was a members live. I tried to do it, but I might not have. But we will have a members live. And again, we share it with everybody. The full public, whether you're subscribed or not, gets to see our members live while it's happening. We don't exclude anyone. That's what I'm thinking. I personally cannot connect with Lilly, but I can connect with Jack like that. So we're about to jump over. We're going to do a little prayer here. But after this, if you are into pulling cards, and if you've already got some of you are just starting to get your decks of true crime cards from me, and I'm so excited for you all to get them. Like I said, 15 people got their decks all shipped out early this week. I'm excited for you all. But we're going to pull some cards, and if you're not into tarot because you just don't understand it, don't worry. I used my true crime deck, and it gives answers, the energies, right? It reads the energies. And in that, we find out a lot. Like every time I do this reading on Lilly, I get horses, farm, right? And then we saw that video with Wade and the horses and the horse trailers. I began to wonder, is it possible that something very bad happened to Jack? There was no returning from, but Lilly may have been protected by Malehya's family. And being that, who was it? The cousin, there's so many cousins, right? The one that said Durwood wasn't being 100%, wasn't 100% right. And I said, was he 50% right? Was he right that Lilly got removed? And no, she wouldn't have been removed at that time. And why are we locked in between 8 and 10 and all that shit? Lilly would have been removed sometime in the night, maybe midnight, right? 1 in the morning, well before you had to call him in absent for school. Just saying. So yeah, this deck is easy to read. I'll pull just a couple cards here for us. Show me Lilly. Show me Lily's energy when it comes to Jack, and that's what we're reading on. What does Lilly know about Jack's energy? So, we have a female. Could that be why the stuffed animals were requested to give them to Lilly? So she had something to snuggle to keep her quiet about Jack? Because I've got a token, a keepsake. Could it be that the shoe print was put there, the boot print was put there as a staged event to say Jack was alive and on this property? And I'll be damned, I told you, Lilly, I always get horses. Who has horses? Huh? Who lives in a very natural area with horses? All right? All right, my lovely. It is a very powerful deck. And you guys, it's happened. I have been encouraged, so we're not going to share a painting this Sunday on our National Center for the Missing Exploited Children fundraiser over on Crime Story Mama. Because we had such a delightful chat yesterday, and we had a very thoughtful contributor, one of our Moonies, say, Mama D, would you be willing to auction off this deck? So it's for charity only. I'm not keeping a dime. I've had this deck from the day that it was made. I've used it since Harmony Montgomery's case a long time ago. And it solved Harmony Montgomery's case, I'll tell you that. I am auctioning this deck off for the National Center Missing Exploited Children this Sunday. So no painting, because we're going to auction this deck off. That being said, there will be a reserve because this deck is important, but every 100% of that money will be donated. Look. Coffin, house. I think there's only one. I think only one child passed. I could be wrong, right? All right, my lovelies, that will be Sunday on Crime Story Mama. If you would like to join that and get Mama D's, and I will sign the deck as well. So that will be your deck. It's worn, but it's not damaged. It's worn. But I always treat my decks really good. But you can tell this has been through a lot. I've had it for 2 years. All the decks that I make are of the same sturdy, double glossed side, heavy duty, good paper, right? Good cardstock. Let me ask you, would you be willing to put your good energy and your faith towards Lilly and Jack with me in a prayer? If you would like to, I ask you to join me now. Dear Lord, in Jesus above, we ask you to protect these children. We ask the answers to be found, that the truth be revealed. Please guide the RCMP to the truth immediately. Please show the RCMP exactly where Lilly and Jack are. We understand that though they were inseparable in life, that they may be in separate places. We keep our mind open to the truth. We ask that the truth, which is in that boundaried square box, and only the truth, be shown to us, that the light be shown in the darkest places for Lilly and Jack. We pray this with only good intent for Lilly and Jack and with unconditional love. In Jesus' name we pray these things. Amen. And it's finished. All right, lovelies, we're going to jump off here. It'll be about, probably about 5-6 minutes. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull some cards to find out, what does Lily's energy share about her beautiful little brother, Jack. I hope you'll join us. There'll be a thumbnail for you if you are on live. And if you are my beautiful replay crew, which I adore you, just check the comment down below. I pinned it for you. All right. See you again very soon. Tomorrow, we will also have a Starlight. So there's 2 member events. There's the members live every week, except for this week I screwed up. And then there's also the members live for Starlight World, which is a lot of fun. So if you have a membership, stay tuned for that. That happens at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and that is CDD time. I love you to the moon and back. God bless you all.